Well, welcome back, everybody. So today, this is our first Whiskey Talk Wednesday, or Wednesday Whiskey Talk. Still trying to figure out the name. And we have Hartman's Distilling. It is their experimental series, which is very exciting to us. Hartman's is a local distillery in Buffalo, New York. And normally they get all their stuff from MGP. They age it according to regular bourbon laws. And this one, their experimental series, they're kind of doing a little bit of freaky things when it comes to secondary maturations and how they call it polishing, not secondary maturation, which is exciting. So this is their experimental. It is finished in a wine barrel for 3.5 years. It is obviously from the United States, from Buffalo specifically, and this is an MGP mash bill of 75% corn, 21% rye, and 5% malted barley. It was first aged in obviously a new charred oak white barrel, and then it was finished in a Cab Franc barrel. The Cab Franc barrel actually has a funny story to it, or an interesting story. So their Molly, who works for the distillery, she runs like the barrel and blending program. She used to work for a winery out in Lockport called Arrowhead Spring Vineyard, and they created this Cab Franc wine, which won 2 separate, like, extremely well national awards. So since Molly came to work then at Hartman's, she was like, hey, I got this sweet wine that it might be cool to finish the whiskey in. So that's how this whole process started.
Nice.
Yeah. The winery won 2 national awards. It was polished in this Cab Franc barrel for 6 weeks, and then it was placed back into the regular barrel. So kind of like smoothing out all those edges and adding that ending whiskey note to it as well. And then it was proofed down to an appropriate level. There was only 560 bottles total. I say appropriate because sometimes some distillers have a set that they want to be at a 90, and they're like, we don't really know what it's going to be proofed down to. We just want it to taste good. So that's what they did.
I like that a lot. And for those that are new and interested in how we go about this entire process, our board is Clean Slate.
Hell yeah.
So
you know, you know.
If you know, you know. So we will go over label branding, the nose, the initial taste, the ending notes, and a final rating. And then, if we remember, depending on how many of these we do in a row, we always like to ask the question, would you have this in your collection? For the experimental, again, it's experimental. They only have, I believe, a total of 400 bottles.
560 for this one.
560 bottles total. And this is bottle number, on the label there?
52.
52. Perfect. So this is 45 ABV.
Oh, it does say 400 on there. I thought it was 560.
Which is 90 proof. So we are excited to try this. And it's a cute size. Obviously, it's not 750 milliliters like what you would see. This is, where did they actually? 375.
It's a small boy. All right. So label branding, what do you got for it? I like that it is similar and consistent to their Hartman's regular bourbon label.
Yeah.
But there's a ton of information on here.
Which I'm actually okay with, especially because of the fact that it's an experimental series. I would rather want to know that up front. I also love the touch. I'm going to see if we can get this in the shot. The side bottle is still classic Hartman's, where the engraving is a part of the bottle, which I like a lot. That's a nice touch.
I like that experimental is really heavy, like all over the place, letting you know that this isn't their flagship product.
Yeah.
And I agree with you about the text. If this was their flagship product and they had that much text on, I think it would be a little bit too busy, especially on the front of the label.
Sure.
But since this is showcasing kind of the nuance and separation between their flagship, it does pretty well.
No, it's a lot of thought behind it. And then they have, obviously, their story on the back, where it basically just dives into the fact that they believe fine spirits have the power to turn back the clock and reclaim memories of long summer days, never long enough sunsets, and loved ones gathered on the front porch with your favorite Hartman's product. And their slogan is "Slow down, drink up," which is one of our favorites.
So label branding, A+ check?
A+ check. I agree.
Let's crack her open.
Oh, right on the board.
Oh,
yeah. A+ check.
Jesus. Wow. Fake cork. It's fine. Cork shortage.
Hartman's number 1.
Experimental one, yeah.
There's not enough room for that, Derek.
EXP1.
Too late.
All right. It's really a nice golden color. Like super dark. Very dark, actually.
I agree.
And it has a lot of legs, bro.
It's oily, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Nose?
Very traditionally Hartman's on the nose. That super deep caramel, a little butterscotch. Some vanilla notes in there.
Are you getting a touch of fig?
A little bit, yeah.
There's levels to this nose, which
Yeah.
makes me really happy inside.
Yeah, you're definitely blasted with that caramel up front, though.
Yeah, the caramel's very heavy on the nose. It's inviting, though. It's an inviting spirit.
Yeah. Outside of that fig, I don't know if I would have caught that if you didn't say that, because the wine finish is very hidden on the nose,
Yes.
unless you're really digging hard for it. Pause. All right, initial taste. Initial nose.
Hello?
It's first
Nose
time
rating.
Yeah.
A minus.
Okay, I'll go A minus. I agree.
I agree.
All right, initial taste.
Initial taste.
That's where a little bit of the wine is coming through. I'm kind of getting like
It's not a lot, though.
no, like a sugared plum.
A cigarred plum.
Sugared, not cigared. Sugared plum.
There's like fresh fruit skins, but it's super faint. It's mellow. It's really mild. And it's not super dynamic where it makes you like, oh, hold on, there's so much going on at once. It's very tame.
Yeah. I actually so when you get some of these finished or polished products, I feel like they want to really emphasize the finishing on it, so you get this very tart plum raisin note in there that takes away, I think, from the quality product that's going in it.
Can you grab the dropper?
Yeah, I think the Hartman team did a very good job of, after it was in the Cab Franc barrel, they put it back in the regular barrel to round out that note. That's probably why you're not getting those super harsh plum and wine notes, really. This, to me, tastes like you had a product that just has a little bit of a cherry tint to it. I don't think, if you put this in front of me, I wouldn't have said that this is secondary finished.
No, I agree with that. And I just want to put a drop of water in to open it and see what it does. But I have a feeling it's not going to do too much to it. Opinion.
Yeah.
I could be obviously proven wrong.
Just because we have their product, we got to get you a footrest, bro. Just because we have had their products a lot, I think that this is probably a little bit thicker, like more viscous.
Than their flagships?
Than their flagship.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I'm not, this isn't, I wouldn't have picked up that this is secondary matured. I would think that this is just a very cherry focused, or a cherry initial taste of a regular bourbon.
Add a drop, and then when you taste it, I'll start explaining what I just tasted.
Let me taste it first, bro.
Just don't say anything. For me, it completely opened up the caramel and the sugars inside of this.
Yeah, and there's some spice too to it.
Not a whole lot, but I mean, for a wine, the wine elements behind this, I'm really not picking up the wine elements.
Have you ever had those?
Although it's dry on the back end,
Yeah.
which I think is from the wine element, but it's so faint.
Have you ever had those, like, during Christmas time, those spiced cranberries that go in drinks and that kind of have some sugar on them?
Yeah,
That's kind of what this tastes like now after that drop.
yeah, we made cocktails with
Yeah,
those.
right. That's kind of what I'm picking up now. This is very interesting. Honestly, I'm shocked that it changed that much with the water.
Same.
So, initial taste, A minus again?
I'm fine with the A minus. I agree.
Ending note? Ending note, now it's going down much drier. with that water in.
Yes, it's much drier with the water. It's fruitier on the ending note than the initial taste, which I'm fine with. That's where I'm picking up more of the fresh, like skins of grapes or some other type of fruit, and then the fig kind of isn't necessarily in the taste.
Right.
So, I would say.
Just looking up what I bought this for, I forgot.
I would say that the ending note competes with the initial taste, but I feel like the initial taste is better than the ending note for this specific spirit. Sometimes Hartman's has a better initial taste than the ending note, and vice versa. It depends on the SKU.
So you think that
I've also had Hartman's with better ending notes than initial tastes.
So you think this is the initial taste is better than the end?
Yeah.
Pre or post drop?
Pre-drop.
Okay.
Post-drop, I think the ending note is better because it opens it up a bit more.
I would say the reverse.
Really?
Yeah, I think that pre-drop.
Do you want to fight over it?
I do, yeah. Pre-drop, this tastes the ending note to me tastes better because it has a little more volume. It's more viscous. It goes down thicker.
Okay.
The initial taste post-drop tastes better to me because that's where you're getting a lot of that candied cranberry come out.
Okay.
Which makes sense as to why they thought that this stopping at 90 is the perfect spot to stop at, because as soon as you put more water in, now you're losing that ending to it.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. So ending note, I don't have any service. Nailed it.
So Derek was just looking to see how much you bought the bottle for.
I think I paid for both of them $60, I want to say. So I think they were like $30 for that, or give or take. When we do our Would You Have This, we'll kind of give a price range around it, when you would buy this. But ending note, I'd go A+.
I'm fine with an A+.
Yeah.
You want to wrate that one?
Yeah, A+. I would say A+ for me, at least after.
Yeah. I agree.
All right. Final rating.
Hold on, I gotta sneeze.
Bless you. Keeping that in.
Please don't.
And I'm gonna zoom in on you too with that. Final rating.
This is our first one.
Yeah. Well, technically second, because first one of the day, second review.
Final rating. Derek, give me that countdown.
3, 2, 1.
88.
91.
Yeah, 89.5.
Love it. So just so you guys know too, we are also, when we have these bottles, we are under no obligation to give a higher rating than anything. We want to give you guys the actual perspective of what we think of it. We're not going to inflate any ratings just because somebody gives us a bottle. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this rating. If it is around $30, or I'll even put it to you this way, Mike, would you have this on your shelf?
I would have it on my shelf.
What would be your price
If
range?
it was 750 milliliters, I would still have it on my shelf. Okay. And I would not pay more than $55 for this.
For the 750?
Yeah.
Or for the 375?
I mean, even for the 750.
Okay.
I think realistically 50 to 60 is an ideal price range, at least for our area. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't, I mean, if it was $50, I'd buy it. If it was 60, I would contemplate and then be like, well, I'd rather spend the $60 towards other SKUs that Hartman's has.
Yeah, that's a good call. I like that. I agree.
I agree.
Love that. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining today's Whiskey Talk Wednesday Whiskey Talk, Whiskey Review Wednesday, Whiskey something. Appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, if you are fans of the show, when we did our previous 157 of these, we always end our little review with a slogan. If you want to hear any of those other 150 that we've done, you can go over to our other channel, Buffalo Happy Hour, on YouTube and listen to all those. They're all on a playlist, and there's a lot of them. So let us know what you guys think. Let us know if you like this format, and we will see you next time. Mike, if you do pick this up, or any of you home drinking with us, please remember, always drink responsibly, be a good person. And Michael,
do not litter.
We're out.